Welcome to part 2 of my epic book haul. Hi everyone, I'm back today to talk about part 2 of my birthday book haul. As I said in my previous video, some of these were bought for me, some of them were sent to me, some of them were bought by me. And so as to not waste any more of your time with my ramblings, I'm going to crack straight on. And the first series that I'm going to talk about is this. This isn't quite set in the tone. This is completely different genre-wise to anything else that I've got down here to talk about. But I bought these. This is a rather large collection of books. There are, let's have a look. Are they numbered? Yes, they are. There's 21 books here, and this is the Famous 5 collection by Enid Blyton. I've bought these because I have been rereading a lot of the Enid Blyton books. Can you see them on the camera? No, they can't. They're just above here is my Enid Blyton shelf and my Harry Potter that I've got up there. But on my Enid Blyton shelf I've been rereading all of the boarding school stories with my daughter. And my daughter was telling a neighbour about the books that we've been reading, and the neighbour was saying that we should read the Famous 5. And I never actually read the Famous 5 as a kid, so I picked these all up on a pretty good offer, if I'm honest. I'm really impressed with myself. I do love finding a bargain. We will read them obviously in slow time. We're not just going to plough through them all. I imagine this will take a couple of years of reading once we mix them in with the other books. But I'm excited to finally give the Famous 5 a go because I never have. The next book that I have is this one. This is the Foundlin by Stacey Halls. I loved Stacey Halls as The Familiars, and I have been waiting to pick this one up, and it came into Tesco's and it was only £3.50, so it would have been silly to have walked away considering I do want to buy it in the future. And this is another historical fiction by Stacey Halls, and I'm hoping that it's as immersive as her first book, The Familiars, because I loved that book. It was fantastic. So I can't wait to read this one. This is about two women bound by a child and a secret that will change everything. So this is set in London in the 1750s, and it follows the story of Bess Bright, who left her illegitimate daughter at the Foundlin Hospital in London. But she returns a few years later to reclaim her daughter, only to be told that she's already picked up her daughter and that Clara's already been claimed by her. But she hasn't. So this throws Bess into this whirlwind of wondering where her daughter is and who's taken her. And this says, less than a mile from Bess's lodgings in the city, a rich young widow has not left the house in a decade. When she's asked to hire a nursemaid for her daughter, she's hesitant to welcome someone new into her home and into her life. But her past is threatening to catch up with her and tear her perfectly constructed life apart. This sounds fantastic. It has all of the vibes for me. I love a historical fiction. I really loved Stacey Hall's writing, so I have very high hopes for this one. The next book that I've got is this one. This is The End of Her by Shari LaPena, and this is about Stephanie and, what's her husband's name? Stephanie and Patrick. Stephanie and Patrick are a happily married couple, and they have a pair of newborn twins. Now Stephanie's really happy. Even though she's very sleep deprived, she's really happy. She knows she's got everything that she could want. But then a woman arrives at the door and she makes a really shocking allegation. She tells Stephanie that Stephanie's predecessor, Patrick's first wife, may not have died accidentally. There may have been murder. And Patrick may have done it. So now Stephanie has to wonder if she really does have everything that she wanted, or if she's living a lie, a very, very dangerous lie. I love Shari LaPena. She does the domestic thriller thing fantastically. I can't wait to read this. It sounds perfect. Next up we've got this one. This is The Dilemma, and this is by B.A. Paris, and this is another domestic thriller that follows Livia. It's Livia's 40th birthday and her husband has arranged a huge party for her, and everybody that she knows and loves will be there except for her daughter who is studying abroad. But Livia is secretly happy that her daughter won't be there. The reason that she doesn't want her daughter Marnie at the party is because Livia has recently discovered a secret about Marnie, and if the secret is revealed it will rip the family to shreds, so she's secretly happy that she isn't there. However, husband Adam has other ideas, and he's secretly arranged for Marnie to arrive at the party. But during the day he hears some devastating news, and now he too is faced with a dilemma. And it says, how far would you go to give someone you love a few last hours of happiness? I'm not sure where this is going to go. I'm not sure what Marnie's hiding, but I'm going to find out, hopefully soon. The next book that I've got is one that was very kindly sent to me as part of a blog tour I'm going to be doing, and this is The Searcher by Tana French. This is Tana French's new novel and it sounds fantastic. This follows Cal Hooper. Cal Hooper is a retired policeman who is just looking for the quiet life. He's bought a fixer-upper in an Irish village and he just wants to live the quiet life with a nice quiet village and a nice pub. But then a boy comes to see him to tell him that his older brother has gone missing and no one seems to care, least of all the police. And Cal doesn't want anything to do with this investigation, but he gets roped in. And it says that soon Cal discovers that even in a small, remote, quiet little place, there are secrets and people might not be exactly who they say they are. This has me written all over it. Not literally, but this has me written all over it. The next book that I've got is this one. This is No Regrets by Tabitha Webb. This is about best friends Stella, Anna and Dixie, and they've always lived life to the full, but now they're approaching their 40s, reality is starting to kill the mood. Stella loves her children, but she misses a glittering career, plus she can't remember the last time she had sex. Anna is trying for a baby with her partner Rex, so why can't she stop thinking about the one that got away? And Dixie is the wildest of them all, a Tinder addict who will never settle down, but has she accidentally found Mr. Right? And it says it's time for friends to shake up things and start having some fun, because you only regret the things you didn't do. This sounds like it'll be a fun, fast-paced read focusing on female friendship, which is something that I really do enjoy, and I think it'll be quite a nice sort of light build-up after the month of October's over, because I'm planning on reading quite a lot of heavy, dark books in October. The next book that I've got, I bought after speaking to Aoife from Words of Clover, and I picked this up. This is The Cut in Place, and this is by Jane Casey. Now, Aoife highly recommended this, and I watched a review of this book, and she really seemed to enjoy it. So this is again another thriller, and this says, everybody's heard the rumours about elite gentlemen's clubs where the champagne flows freely, the parties are outrageous, and what goes on behind closed doors is darker than you could possibly imagine. Paige Hargreaves was a young journalist working on a story about a club for the most privileged men in London. She was on the brink of exposing a shocking scandal, and then she disappeared. So then a detective has to find out what happened to Paige and what secrets are being hidden in this gentleman's club and what's going on. This sounds perfect. I love thrillers that dip into sort of secret worlds and secret societies and things, and I'm very interested to find out what they're saying is going on at this elite gentleman's club, because you do hear some terrible rumours about elite gentlemen's clubs, saying this really does sound like my kind of book. The next book that I've got is this one. This is True Story by Kate Reid Petty, and this one is, I picked this one up. I paid a bit extra to get the cover that I wanted, and this is number 128 of 150 numbered copies of the first edition, and it's a signed one as well. So I treated myself to this because, I mean, it is my birthday, so I did treat myself to this one. Maybe I shouldn't be so glorifyingly happy that I've treated myself, because the storyline of this one is particularly dark. I don't want to make myself out to be a psychopath, but I mean, it sounds like the type of book that I'll really enjoy. This starts on a college night gone wrong. A drunk girl is given a lift home by two frat boys, and after they take her home, rumours start to circulate about what they did to her while she was passed out drunk in the car. And they later give the police completely different stories, but nothing happens, and she never actually figures out what happened to her. And it says inside, that's just the beginning of this extraordinary journey into memory, fear and self-betrayal, through university applications, a terrifying abusive relationship, a fateful reckoning with addiction, and a final mind-bending twist. I really can't wait to get around to this. I've seen quite a lot of hype about this book. The next book that I've got is this one. This one was very kindly sent to me. It's a Christmas one, and I'll obviously be talking about it a bit later on, but this is the Unwrapping of Theodora Quirk, and this sounds really fun. It's described as A Christmas Carol meets Stranger Things, and that just sounds like everything to me. So this is about 19-year-old Theodora Quirk, who heads to work on Christmas Eve, but the last person that she expects to find outside of her flat is St. Nicholas. The St. Nicholas. There on a doorstep, over 2,000 years old, the St. Nicholas is on a doorstep, and he's come to save Theodora. St. Nick knows that Theo is grieving, so he begins to show her 4 different scenes from her life that give her hope. But he's also had a cryptic message from the Christmas Hires that Theodora is to be trained up to be the first ever female Christmas angel, which is a role that Theo isn't quite sure that she's cut out for. However, the training is derailed by St. Nicholas's evil brother. And with his confidence dented and saddened by society's spiraling levels of expectation and greed, St. Nick begins to falter. Theo does everything she can to defeat the evil brother and to lift St. Nicholas's spirits, but as the deadline for Christmas miracles draws close, she realises she must complete them herself. But is she up to the job? This sounds so much fun. I love a good Christmas read, and I can't wait to get into this one. And the final 2 books I bought, this is Men Who Hate Women by Laura Bates, and this is Misogynation by Laura Bates. I love Laura Bates's everyday sexism, and these sound like the type of book that I'll enjoy reading. These are obviously non-fiction, and I didn't know Laura Bates had other books out, apart from Girl Up and Everyday Sexism. And I was speaking to Jean from Jean's Bookish Thoughts, and she was going to be reading this one. So I went online to look this up myself and found this one too, so I thought I would just get them both at the same time. And so this is Men Who Hate Women. And in this book, Laura Bates lifts the lids on the communities of men who hate women. She goes both undercover, both on and offline, to explore the ideology and impact that they have worldwide. So she goes through sort of the pickup artists and the men's rights activists, and she traces how effectively their ideas have been smuggled into collective consciousness via trolls, the media, celebrities and politicians, to emerge unchecked in our schools, workplaces and corridors of power, posing deadly harm to both men and women. Now I'm looking forward to reading this. This sounds just up my street. I do love a good non-fiction, and I can't wait to get stuck into this and see if it's just as educational as Everyday Sexism. And I also picked up this one, as I said, Misogynation, and this is the true scale of sexism. And this says, 100 years since some women were first given the right to vote, we're still struggling to get to grips with the true extent of the gender inequality that continues to flourish in our society. Drawing attention from sexism everywhere, Bates uncovers the discrimination in our relationships, our workplaces, our homes, our media, at our schools and on our streets. Misogynation makes a passionate argument for stepping back, opening our eyes and allowing ourselves to see the bigger picture. Again, I'm hoping that I'll just plough through these. They're not very long, and yeah, I couldn't resist picking them up. So that is the end of my mammoth book haul. There have been a lot of books. But books make me extraordinarily happy, and what is 2020 if it isn't the year where we are allowed to try and make ourselves a little bit more happy? So as usual, I will link all the books down below. If you've read any of them, let me know. If you're going to, let me know, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.